Good evening and welcome to World News Tonight. I'm Chris, reporting live from our LEGO studio, bringing you the latest from across the globe. Tonight, we would cover geopolitical tensions, financial market shifts, and key government policies shaping our world. We'll transition to our Washington and London studios for in-depth analysis. First, here's what's making headlines. Global tensions are escalating as conflicts in the Middle East and Eastern Europe continue to strain energy and food supply chains. The World Bank warns of a potential 30% spike in oil prices if these conflicts worsen, potentially dragging global growth below 2.4% in 2024. Meanwhile, China's slowdown, with its weakest growth in decades, poses risks for trade-dependent economies in Africa and Asia. For more on the U.S. perspective, we join Sarah in Washington.
Thank you, Chris. Here in the U.S., President-elect Donald Trump's trade policies are drawing global attention. His proposed tariffs on Canada and Mexico could disrupt North American supply chains, particularly in the auto industry, while raising concerns about consumer costs. On the global stage, these policies might exacerbate existing tensions with China, as its economic slowdown reverberates worldwide. Turning to financial markets, uncertainty remains high. While inflation in the Eurozone rose to 2.3% last month, the European Central Bank has signaled further rate cuts despite price pressures. The U.S. Federal Reserve is also reassessing its interest rate strategy amid a soft landing scenario predicted for 2024. Let's shift to London for an update on European markets and policy dynamics. Monica, over to you.
Thanks, Sarah. In Europe, rising inflation has reignited debates about fiscal policies. Meanwhile, the UK faces a rental inflation crisis, with rents surging by 3% year-on-year. As leaders gather for the G7 summit next week, discussions will focus on stabilizing the energy markets and mitigating risks from global conflicts and climate impacts. From immediate challenges to long-term strategies, governments worldwide are grappling with climate change, economic instability, and geopolitical risks. The IMF has emphasized the need for structural reforms to boost growth, while the World Economic Forum highlights vulnerabilities like cyber risks and geoeconomic fragmentation. Back to Legos for stories making rounds in Africa and tonight's closing thoughts.
Thank you, Monica. Here in Nigeria, there has been a devastating boat accident in Kogi State, which has left over 50 people dead and many others unaccounted for. The disaster occurred when an overloaded passenger boat capsized in the early hours on Friday on the River Niger. Authorities report that the vessel was carrying more passengers than its capacity, a common issue in the region due to a lack of transportation options. As authorities continue their search efforts, questions remain about the circumstance leading to this latest tragedy. We'll keep you updated as more information becomes available. For now, our thoughts are with the victims and their families. As the world navigates these uncertain times, we'll continue to bring you insights and updates. Stay tuned for more in-depth coverage. Don't forget to subscribe to ELTV and turn on notifications so you never miss an update. Thanks for staying with us, and good night.